Hello everyone, welcome back to Car Salvage 101. Welcome back to the Facelift 1.2 Lounge 2016. And we are going to get this car done. This should be the final video on the car. So we've got a few things to do. We need to clean it. Got a few little, one little paint job that we need to do. Got some alloy wheels that need refurbishing, diamond cut. So first time for everything, I guess. Not my favourite job in the world, I'd imagine. Certainly not easy. Clean the interior, and we're going to look to install a new Android Auto, Apple Carplay stereo and upgrade what currently is already in there. And I think that's it. And then we can do like a costing at the end and work out what this car owes. So without further ado, let's get on with today's video. Oh, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Really does appreciate it. Down here is where it's at. And also, if you're there, just quickly hit that like button as well. That'd be really appreciated. So yeah, let's get on with today's video. So I want to try and improve the front alloys because, yeah, they're scuffed. But the only slight problem with these is I think they're diamond cut, which means that the lacquer is problematic and it's starting to slightly come off. So what I'm going to try and do is just clean them up, see where we're at, and then work out what I'm going to do. So it is a bit of a mystery how these will look, but let's just start by giving these the general wheel cleaner. Then we'll give them a scrub, see what we're playing with. So this is what I'm left facing with. So we cleaned it up. Did need to go with some acid wheel cleaner in bits, but we've managed to get everything pretty much off. And yeah, it's quite heavily scuffed around pretty much the outside of this. And we've got some lacquer peel going on there and there. So really need to wait for this to dry out a bit. And then I'm going to start working on cutting through and sanding this all back. I don't really have to do it. I mean, you know, it's a 98,000 mile car. You expect alloy wheels to be, you know, heavily curbed, but well, this is partly also for me to be able to work out whether or not it's something that I can do, and it's sort of a bit of an experiment. So we'll, yeah, allow this to dry a bit, and then we'll get the sander out, and then we'll start working to try and even these areas up a bit more. Right, that's dried sufficiently. So we're going to 180 grit the outsides and I think any lacquer problems that we've got, which is quite a few, maybe about on here anyway. So we'll start off with a 180 grit and then see how we get on with that. Right, that's a 180 on that. And obviously I've started trying to attack the lacquer on here as well. Might need a bit more there. But it's certainly cleaned it up a bit better, that's for sure. And then what we need to do is then just start upping the grit level start bringing back the shine, so to speak, from this. So yeah, I think 400's the next one, although I'm just going to quickly do that there, but yeah, 400's the next. Okay, that is the penultimate step. So just a reminder, 180 grit to get off the lacquer, then 400 again, and then we 600 wet papered everything, then 1,000 wet paper everything, and then I've used a grey Scotch pad to basically do the entire key up, the entire alloy, so that we can then spray on new lacquer. So yeah, now I've just got to wait for it to dry. This will then come up all cloudy, and then I can see where if I've missed any areas on the alloy that need keying again, because obviously if it's not keyed, that lacquer's not gonna stick to it. So yeah, we'll wait for that to dry, and it should then go all nice and cloudy. Then we can apply the lacquer. But already that looks a lot better. Right, we have the wheel on, and it's done. Hopefully you can see the gloss on that. It's come out all right. There's no lacquer peel or anything. I'm quite happy with that. As I say, it's not the best. There's a few little areas which could have done better, but it's certainly a whole lot better, and it didn't really cost anything apart from a bit of time and lacquer. So yeah, that is the first one. So now I've got to do this all again for the second one. Right, let's get the other one off. This is the final, well, it's not the final, this is the other side of the car. So I'm going to do this indoors at night where I've got a bit of light and I can get on with it. So yeah, it's not great. So yeah, I'll come back to you when it's completely done. You don't need to see this. So that is the other front wheel. See, it's got a nice gloss on that. No more problems in regards to any lacquer peel. And yeah, it's come out pretty well. So I'll go and put that on. Then I need to look at the rears and see whether or not the rears need doing. But I suspect they probably will, if I'm being honest. So yeah, we'll get this on now. Yeah, this is probably more time consuming, I think, than anything else. So that's the rear wheel. It's not good. I really did think it was going to be okay, but it's really not at all. So yeah, that's the only problem I've discovered, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything for. So yeah, we're going to have to sand this one back as well. Bugger, another good few hours work to do this one, and then we've probably got the other one to do on the rear as well. The only saving grace is that the weather is not great, so there's not much I can do outside. So just going to allow this just to dry out a bit because the temperature is not too bad today, and then we'll start the process all over again. I tell you, this alloy, so this is the rear one, right? This alloy has been an absolute biatch. It has been horrendous. It puts me off actually wanting to do these because I kid you not, I haven't even done most of them. These three here are the original, and there's no issues with them. These ones have all had some form of lacquer problem, and these are all of the pads that I used to try and cut through this lacquer, and it just was insane. I mean, the front ones didn't just sailed through the lacquer, no issues at all. Just took it straight off the top. Really nice, really simple as done. This one, over 2.5 nights, it's taken me to try and cut through this, and I've only just done and cut through the lacquer. I've now got to 400 grit it to smooth it all off. But my God, it really puts me off doing the final one, because these are taking hours, and there's no way on earth that this is worth spending so much time on them. So, oh geez, yeah, don't get it at all. So I'm gonna finish off the rest of it, and I'll be glad to see this wheel go back on the car. So the last wheel to go on, it's not exactly how I would have liked it to have been, if I'm being honest. It's these back ones have been notoriously difficult. For some reason, they just were nothing like the front. And bear in mind, this is the first time that I've done diamond cut. To be honest, it's probably going to be the last. It's peculiar. Let's just try and get this centered a bit more. It's peculiar because the fronts weren't too bad, and I was able to work my magic on those and get them to look decent. And these back ones have been, it's got nothing to do with like the lacquer or anything to do with this. It's just nothing's worked. Like I've put on the usual technique of sanding it, and it's just produced some horrible results of trying to sand it. Compared with the front was just fantastic. It's just been horrendous, and it's just really put me off doing them again. So yeah, rears are not my finest work, but the main thing is that the end is in sight, and we've got the last one on. So once this is on and the jack is down, we'll tighten it up. And that is, well, I say that is, it's nearly it. Cosmetically, it's pretty much it. There's a few little stone chips on the front of the bonnet, which I just want to do a slight little touch up on. And then, right, I don't know why I've just taken that off. So I'm using the jack that it came with, just because the main jack is not with me. So we will drop that down. Move that out of the way. A few more turns. Right, that is out. I'll put that in the black sport, which we've not even done anything with for months. Put that in there. Right, and that's it. I'll just tighten those up, whack the centre cover on, and then we need to work out interior wise what we're going to do, clean wise, I think. because it's probably, I think it's yeah, it's locked. How much cleaning that actually needs to occur? I think it's more the footwells, to be honest. Anyway, let's come to that. Let's just tighten these, and one less thing to do. Okay, as we start the cleanup process, we need to work on, we're going to just hoover this out. It's actually not that bad really, but yeah, we need to hoover that out. I don't think, yeah, I'm missing a driver's mat. We've got a couple in there, and we've got one in the passenger, but we're missing a driver's, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, so I'm just going to hoover that out, so that won't take too long. And yeah, I don't know why I'm pausing. I really don't. Simple job really, isn't it? Just get on with it. Starting to lose the light a bit now. You can see we have all the various cleaning stuff. I didn't want to do the seats. I didn't feel that the seats needed to be all done. Just this particular corners on here were not particularly great, so I've just used Vanish and just rubbed that in. So that's going to obviously dry, and hopefully that will look all good tomorrow. And then in here again, that's drying in. You can see it's drying there, it's still wet there. I've just hoovered obviously, and then brushed the dirt and everything like that, just to give that a refresh as well. So yeah, I mean, as I say, this for a 98,000 mile car, the actual condition of the interior and everything has actually been really well looked after. It's really not that bad at all. So it sort of just requires a sort of a spritz really. So done that. What else have I done? Filled in some various paint chips on the front of the car, in the bonnet, because there was obviously quite a lot, if I'm being honest. There was a lot of that, so just touch those up a bit. And yeah, the only things that haven't done so far that I've just realised when I opened the door was, ignore the fact that this is dirty, was we are missing, I need to touch up paint marks, because you always get them, is around here. So I just need to do that. So yeah, just leave that open for a bit, just to get as much air in, because obviously I'm going to shut the door soon, and then we're going to end up, I don't know, temperature might drop overnight. And say we're coming to the end of Feb now, so daytime temperature is not too bad. Sun's been out a couple of days, so that's quite good, so for drying purposes. But yeah, got to let nature take its course for this one. So I think that's going to be it for now. The actual main clean on the inside, where we go and tackle the steering wheel here, we'll just do that all at the end. And quite happy so far with this. It will make a good car for someone in the end when I get around to selling it. Still got no idea how much really to put it at. Really don't know. It's very difficult. High mileage, so obviously it doesn't sort of, you know, go for everyone's cup of tea, but the service history is good. Cam belt, water pump, alternator all done, and it's a facelift. So yeah, but anyway, let's go and tidy this up, and I think we need to start looking to head inside for the night. So as we're getting closer and closer to the end here, the only thing I wanted to do before I start the external clean was that I'd noticed I'd missed some peeling lacquer on this corner, and when I went to tidy it up with a 600 grit, it started taking some paint off, so I'm gonna just have to give that bit of a respray, primered and then respray. So I've already started one layer primer, and then just finish that off, and then we can start the paint process on this. Why is it? Yeah, start the paint process and then start, when that's done, then the cleaning. So yeah, then she can go up for sale. And there we have it, lacquered, painted, lacquered. I don't know if you can really see that, the sun's shining on it, which makes it stand out. My only problem with this is that this top, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the top here, this was cracked and it's lost a bit, which means that this, can't push it because I'm still trying to let that dry off. It just means that this doesn't sit massively well in there, and I have to think of, there's not really much you can do once these clips at the top sort of break off. There's not a huge amount you can do. I could try and stick it in there, I say stick it, but glue it, but then you then risk that when you then got to want this off, you could end up breaking it even further. So yeah, I mean, from that sort of angle, it's not really too much of an issue, is it? So yeah, otherwise this is now done. There's no more painting to be done, and now it just needs a good old clean. I might wait till tomorrow to do that, just allow that to set and settle overnight and dry, and then I can then give it a good old clean tomorrow. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're all good. We are all good to go. Oh no, we're not. I lie. I potentially have a headset which I could put into there and get rid of that old one. I'm going to think about that one, because I did buy it. Paul at Love 500 did a video on them. It's a facelift. This isn't actually open, but it's a replacement for that, and it's a bigger screen, and it allows you to do Android and CarPlay and everything. So let me see if I can just, can't really hide the sun unfortunately. Yeah, just in there, that's it. I bought one, so I could do that tomorrow, but time is of the essence, so gotta have a think. What to do. This radio here, I think we're going to swap out. We're going to take away what appears to be a reasonably decent system, well, compared with the old one, but actually it doesn't really offer a massive amount. It's just the usual it's just sort of very basic. It's got DAB, but it still really doesn't do much. So yeah, let's have a look. I mean, it doesn't even register outside temperature for some reason. Do that. Nothing on the outside. What's Uconnect? I don't even know what Uconnect is. See, it's not really anything fancy. So we've got a replacement. So what I'm going to do first is to remove all of this, and then we can get to the removal of this. So yeah, let's try it. Right, I believe everything is connected up, but there is one connector which will not connect. It's the... where is it? Let's just move this out of the way. This one here. Because I believe that's going to be the DAB one. And of course this unit doesn't have DAB. So that is going to be obsolete. So if we just thread everything back in, let's just hold that there. Right, so this is going to be the first test. I've done this without instructions. Okay, so that's good so far. Wait for that to kick in. I don't know if that does it every time you start, but certainly the screen is a lot better than that one down there. A lot better. So obviously we've got to mess around with some settings. So let's just find the audio. So if we go FM, okay, so it's coming through. What I'm going to do, I'm going to find something because I don't want to be demonetized for this. So bear with me, I will come back.
So
right,
far, but indeed, I would hope that those countries would all be there.
We've got it.
And I'm told the Prime Minister in that press conference.
Let's mute this. So we'll turn it down.
Other countries would make their own announcements, so he certainly wasn't wanting.
Okay, right. I'll turn that down. So, do these work?
Lord Derek, Derek, thank you very much. And
okay, so that's good. That is good. So, does that mute it? That does mute it. There we go. So, if we move this, it does move it around. There you go. Oh. So there we have it. Right. So we lose DAB, but let's just mute this. There we go. So we lose DAB, but we gain this. So yeah, so we can connect our phone. So we need to go into certain settings here, because that's tiny, isn't it? Flipping heck. We need to adjust some various bits and pieces, like here. So I'll eventually go in on this and yeah, just have a play around. But you can see that's very small. So let's go back. Have we got nav settings? Yeah, I've got to work out how you, because this is all just new to me. So if we go to the home button, there we go. We can scroll. It's got radio, video. So I think the sat nav is when you connect your phone. So this doesn't have a built-in sat nav, and all these will work off your phone eventually. So you're playing your YouTube and your Android, etc. So yeah, right, okay. Let's So when we turn this off, that screen will go dead. So we just got to put this all back in, stick that down, and yeah, then we are one less thing to do. I'm reasonably happy with that. Again, if this was my car, I don't know what I'd choose. I mean, again, it's open to you guys on the comments. Would you rather have an updated screen with Android Auto, but you lose DAB, or would you rather have DAB radio and lose Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, etc.? What would your preference be? In the meantime, I'll get this all screwed back in. Okay, we are clipped in. Everything is working back to normal. And yeah, so what I'll do is there'll be a separate video on how this all works and how it all connects up, which I will sort out. But in the meantime, I'm just going to play around with these wires down here. We're going to stick that into the corner there to get the best reception, and that will be the interior. Well, I say the interior is done. It just actually needs like a good clean, that kind of thing. But generally, on the whole, this is pretty much good to go. One last thing. Where did it go? There it is. Oh, I've dropped it. Where did it go? Oh, bugger. Hold on. It went somewhere. Oh no, where did it go? That definitely went flying out. And I didn't have the door open. Oh, bugger. Right, I will come back to you in a sec. I've just got to find it. And as we get towards the end of the video, something that I partly forgot to mention at the beginning, which would have been handy, was that in my previous video, we'd gone through the MOT and I wasn't very happy with the results. Brake disc, brake pads, windscreen, oil sump were, and the lower arm. So the pads and discs, the discs probably could have, they were an advisory, to be fair, but they were changed. The pads are obviously pretty low, so yeah, they changed. The sump, so it was porous, but there was absolutely no oil leak whatsoever. So having checked everything, put a cardboard underneath it for a couple of days, nothing, no oil leak. If anything, it's probably like tiny pinprick kind of metal fatigue, which just meant that it just looked wet, but it actually didn't really lose any oil. But anyway, that was, I cleaned it up and we hammer-righted it and did the lower arm. Yeah, so lower arm brakes, hammer-righted the oil sump and had the windscreen. So I'm not going to change the windscreen, 170 odd quid for that, at all. So gone back to the MOT place. They've taken off the brakes, the arm, so those aren't advisories. Briefly looked at the oil sump, was happy with that. That went. And then subsequently started, I said, can you look for the windscreen mark that one of your colleagues put down as an advisory? And he was looking around the windscreen, literally like this. He couldn't see anything, and I should have kept my mouth shut and said, yeah, it's been replaced, but I didn't. I said, see, you can't find it, can you? And he was like, no, I can't. And I said, right, well, there it is. of which I then pointed to the smallest, minutest piece. And he was like, oh, right, yeah, oh, okay. Well, I'll have to keep it on. I was like, well, you couldn't even find it. He said, I've got to keep it on because you haven't done anything. You haven't had it replaced or fixed. So it's got to stay on the MOT as an advisory. So had I kept my mouth shut and not said anything apart from saying and lied and said, oh, yeah, the windscreen's fixed, then maybe he would have just cleared it. But hey-ho, when it comes to selling it, and if anyone asks, I will literally show them that and say you've got literally no problems with it whatsoever. So that is the end of that MOT problem. And as per what some people wrote in the comment, and they've, I think, previously wrote in other videos, wherever I've talked about advisories with this MOT place, they're like, oh, go elsewhere. I am going to go elsewhere now because I can't be doing with small little things like that. Plus, I also got a parking fine as well, where they left it outside having done the MOT, and the parking fine was issued to me, and I challenged it and said, well, I didn't park it there. And they went, it's your, and then the council would come back and said, it's your car, it's your responsibility, you got to pay it. So it cost me more. So yeah, lesson learned. But anyway, let's get on back with today's video. So just going to give this, oh, hello, don't want, that doesn't work. Yeah, that'll work. Just going to give this just a quick wet soak off, and then we're going to apply some Iron X again, just to get rid of any outstanding defects and problems in the paintwork. It's a good day actually for this, because although the sun's out, which is nice, it means that the temperature is still not too bad, so we doesn't immediately dry off. Right, let's go and get the Iron X. It's not as bad as I thought, actually. It really isn't. The front's not too bad. Bonnet's really good. Normally that's a particularly bad place. Got a few little bits around here. Tiny bits down the side, up here. Not so much here. Again, tiny bits, but generally on the whole, very good around here. The back, again, this normally tends to develop quite a bit. It's not too bad. There's quite a big run there, but on the whole, bumper and everything's not bad. And then, yeah, just small bits here and there. Nothing major at all. Bit under there. So, yeah, let's go and get the hose. We'll hose it off so we don't allow it to dry too much. And then we'll get on with the actual washing of the car. Okay, hand washing the car. I don't use the pressure washer, as I think I've probably said before, but that's fine. These are small little cars, so it's not a massive job. It's not overly time consuming, thank God. So So whilst this dries, so to speak, bear in mind it's white, we need to look at the problem that comes with white cars, which is tar. You can see we've got quite a bit of it down there. So we have G-Technic tar and glue remover. It's just going to spray a bit on all the bottom here. See what effect. You can see already that's starting to go instantaneously, which is nice. Let's go around the back and the sides here. Again, we're just gonna do a little spritz. Yeah, that working already, which is nice. So I'm gonna allow that just to dwell for a few minutes, and then just probably gonna just tart up the tyres, just give those a good scrub because they're a bit dirty. They need a scrubbing before we can apply the gel to them. So that brings us to the end of the cleaning and the end of the video. Just got to take some photos of it now and get it up for sale. So what have we had done and what does it owe us? So if we start off engine wise, we needed spark plugs, oil filter, air filter, alternator, cam belt, and the fitting of those two as well. We needed brake discs, brake pads, and the lower arm. So pretty much all mechanical. We did need one door handle and an MOT. Oh, and then of course, if you really want to be picky, we did throw in a new media player as well. So you'll see that on the screen, what they all owe and what this car owes. It's purchased for $1,600, paid BCA fees, and then we got a delivery on top of that as well. So that's pretty much it. Yes, there's a can of lacquer in there as well, and some sanding discs. But the majority of it was mechanical. So yeah, that's it. That will go up for sale. I don't know how quick it will move. Bear in mind it's a facelift. My slight concerns still are that it's relatively high. Well, it is high mileage. It's high mileage, but it's a facelift. So providing I can price it competitively, it should hopefully go out the door reasonably quick. So yeah, let me know, as I think I've said before, what you reckon it's kind of worth. What would you pay for it? Let's be honest about it. Let's not go with some stupid like, oh, it's a Fiat 500, I wouldn't pay anything for it. It would be only useful as a skip or something like that. You know, what would the value of this roughly be? If you go on Auto Trader, if you put this up for 3.5, it would appear to be the cheapest lounge in the country. So yeah, but as the weather improves, it gets warmer. hopefully it'll speed things up and we can get this gone, and then we will get on to another project, or we'll finish off one other project that I might have. I've got this black sport that still needs to get sorted. So yeah, we've still got plenty more for the channel, and fingers crossed 2025 brings us some more luck with cars. We won't end up buying some blown head gaskets or piles of rubbish where people have just quite literally dumped them. Fingers crossed. So yeah, don't forget, if you already haven't, at the beginning of the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. It all helps the channel. It really does. And I appreciate each and every one of you for viewing this video today. So yeah, until next time, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch up with you all again very, very soon.